The scourge of cancer continues to ravage families in the country. The burden is significantly felt by the patient's caregivers, who often carry the emotional and financial strain. Eunice Omolo sat down with George Ikua, who shared his story 2 years later after losing his wife, Janet Ikua, to lung cancer.
George Ikua, I was the caregiver and husband to the late Janet. As a caregiver, I keep telling guys the hardest thing is that you have to be the face of hope to your caregiver, to your patient. Everyone suddenly has a solution. Yeah. Everyone is an expert. True. So you will find people who will come to you and say, drink carrots. Another one, murenga. Another one, run around the house 7 times. They're all manner of stories. And then everyone seems to have someone who they know who it didn't work for, and someone who this one worked for. So there's a lot of that. And what I did is that I spent a lot of time researching. So I would tell caregivers, research a lot, as much as you can. Ask as many people as you can. Don't be afraid. And not everyone is telling you. Everyone's truths could be different. Find one voice of reason. Agree within the family. This will be the voice. People will disagree. People will give up along the way. People will doubt the path along the way. The path, like any other path, will have ups and downs. I would really advise you to focus on the path that you took and on executing it best. So if you decide to go for chemotherapy all the way. If you decide to go for surgery, go surgery all the way. If you decide to go a local doctor, go local doctor all the way. That's what I encourage people is that if you can find whatever tricks, mechanics for the patient to really rally them to believe that they can be better, to believe that they can be healed. That's really, for me, is everything. I think even doctors agree, medical doctors, is that a fighter, if you go and ask even all cancer doctors, they'll tell you the fight in the patient is really a huge part. So that, yeah, and of course, pray and thank for every day. I think it's very important to give thanks a lot. And 2, I think for me, the biggest healing was helping other widowers. When she passed, I got involved with a lot of widowers. And we had this thing. And I would spend a lot of time talking to widowers, former caregivers and all that. And for me, that really helped me. What I mean by that is that Janet did not become a taboo subject once she passed. We spoke to about her freely. I mean, if you look at my house, our photos are still hanging, and they'll be hanging 10 years to come. What it is that when someone has passed, don't make it a taboo subject. Because while it is sad that they were gone, it is also a celebration that they were here. For us as a community, we need to understand the stress of somebody who is taking care of somebody who is sick, especially living in terminal illnesses. Long-term illnesses are a bit crazy. I mean, there are people who are here who you've lived with a sick person in the house for 5-6 years. How are you even functioning? I mean, it's very difficult. There's a sick human being in the house. The house is dreary, it's sad, it's what. And these things, so I encourage people, the best way you can support a caregiver and a patient is to make their life go on as it was. So, if I'm a caregiver, the best thing you can do for me is know, for example, I usually pick my kids at 3, pick them for me. That's how you support a caregiver. You want to, whatever, do shopping for me. Let my life run as normal as possible, and the patients, of course, included. And that's the best support you could ever give a caregiver.